everyone, I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for the PayPal donation. I try to write you back. Thank you very much, and thank you for those cups of coffee from you guys. Yeah, they had a 3.5 earthquake there in Yellowstone, and they actually did not fudge about it. I come up with a magnitude 3.54. Yeah, it's raining there at Yellowstone, and they're panning. Not very often I get to catch them when the camera's moving. You can see the park is full. Lots of people. Yeah, someone keeps trying to say that the park is closed, and it's not. Yeah, unless there's probably a forest fire raging through the park. I don't think they would close it for any type of an emergency. Are they going to move it again? Let me show you this 3.54 earthquake. Well, first off, I'm going to show you the location. There was a 4.2, let's see, July 14th. Okay, let me close that and bring this out. Been a lot of earthquakes in this location. Yeah, Lima, Montana, they call it. But it's along the Snake River, close to the Snake River Plateau. And I have a fault line drawn. No, that's the highway. Okay, let me take the roads off. There you go. And we'll bring it out. Okay, down over here is the Snake River Plateau, where it looks all bare. Well, it's bare because when it blew out the mountains. You can see the edges of the remaining mountains here, but this is where that earthquake occurred. And over here, drawn in red, is the Trans-Challis fault system. Can you see that? Yeah, the plates are moving. Yeah, fairly significant. One person said they did feel this earthquake to USGS, but we know, look how it's off on the side here. We know that they don't post all the reports that are sent in to them. And there's Lima, Montana. I'm sure more people than just one felt it. It's probably the talk of the town at the local coffee shop. So I have 4 monitors downloaded. The boreholes, there's only one borehole that's working. And I believe that's Yellowstone Lake. So to save on space, because it's not very accurate, we got Moose Creek, Idaho here on the left. That is down by the west entrance. We got Maple Creek. Now that is in the Madison River area. West Thumb. Yeah, showed up there a little bit. And this is Denny Creek. You see we got some distinct 2 lines of melt, but the most significant signature that came in for this 3.5 was Moose Creek, Idaho, the western entrance. You can see here Maple Creek's been having a lot of activity, and again, that's the Madison River area. I'll do that one next. So let's make this bigger. Okay, and we'll pull it down. And I'm glad my data saved. Right there, 3.54. Look at all the toxic gases. And this is quite an interesting signature right here. Probably a half a second after the earthquake occurred. Let's go to the signature right there. Yeah. Okay, let's extract this. Volcanic tremor. Yeah. Magma on the move. Now, I've talked about how the magma is getting way up over there from the Yellowstone caldera to the Snake River Plateau. For those of you that might be new, let me show you. The mantle plume comes up from the Gulf of California. The plume neck, if you want to call it, the chimney, is about 250 miles wide. And it comes up in Yellowstone after crossing at an angle towards Yellowstone. Okay, so the magma, which is lava that's under the ground, comes up and it reaches the crust of the earth, and it moves mostly towards the west, and this would be the Snake River Plateau. So that's why we have all the past eruptions along there. buildup of pressure, and that's why you are seeing volcanic tremors. A volcanic tremor is defined as a continuous seismic signal observed near a volcanic volcano lasting from several minutes to even several days. Seismic signals is observed before and during volcanic eruptions or sometimes independently. They got a couple images here. I don't know if I can click on them. Okay, let's click. Let's see what happens. This is a study from Volcanic volcano back in 2019. You can see it right there. And they have an example showing deep earthquakes as they rose up, and they also have the seismic signature. See how it's kind of like a little blob also? I've talked about this. Blobs of magma. The location of the volcanic tremor is a key indicator to trace the magma fluid, and at times reflects the eruption style. Volcanic tremors often show harmonic characteristics in its spectrogram, with a fundamental frequency peak and its overtones. Numerous examples of harmonic tremor that occur at shallow regions immediately before the vents of volcanoes have been reported. This is where you get dike intrusions, a crack in the ground, and then the magma comes up. This article was published in September of last year. Only a few studies on volcanic tremors that occurred in the deep part of volcanoes have been reported in literature. And it goes on to mention Kilauea in Hawaii and 2 in probably Japan. So they haven't really studied these deep plumes. Yeah, don't you feel confident in what they tell you? A volcano. So here it shows the track of the Yellowstone plume that I was talking about, how it comes up and crosses over. Oh, we got Nevada, Arizona, the edge of Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming, and then it continues on up into Montana. Here we have an image of 4 major types of seismograms. We got the tectonic earthquakes. Those are with the sharpened points at the top. Let me make this larger for you. Shallow volcanic tremors. Yeah, volcanic tremors. See how they're long and rounded? And do they have harmonic on here? Yeah. Okay, so we got shallow volcanic tremors, which are long with rounded tops. And harmonic tremors are about half the length, just shortened down wavy lines. And this does, in fact, come from USGS. We got surface events, such as traffic coming, how it trails, comes in real quiet and gets louder and louder and louder. And then tectonic, like I said, the sharp points. As you know, they have basalt and also rhyolite. Rhyolite does not allow the magma to come in. It does not allow the gases to escape from the ground. Rhyolite is one of the most explosive types of magma that you could possibly have. I do have drawn out along the Snake River Plateau some of the, not all of them, some of the past eruptions. Now, let's see, craters of the moon. That is an eruption of both rhyolite and basalt. Yeah, it's got rhyolite. And that only occurred maybe 2,000 years ago. Native Americans talked about the eruption of that lava field. And then we got Hell's Half Acre, which erupted, maybe 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. This is Hell's Half Acre. Okay. And then this is Cerro Grande lava field. That one was about 500,000 years ago. So you wonder, how can you have such a great difference in eruptions between Hell's Half Acre and craters of the moon? Well, it depends on the flow of the magma as it goes from the plume moving west, and where the ground decides it wants to crack open, where the pressure is built up, and it pops. Only one person sent in a report saying they felt this earthquake, and they gave it an intensity level of 3. And that came from Lima, Montana. USGS gave it an intensity shake map of 4. But the person that reported the earthquake said it was intensity level 3, which means it was felt noticeably indoors, but not always recognized as an earthquake. Standing autos rock slightly, vibration like a passing truck. Yeah, they probably talk about them all the time there in the local coffee shop. So here we have the shake intensity of 4. And let's bring this down. They got it drawn out in blue and white. And it shows, different colors of blue. And the location of who should have felt it. They did feel it there. Even though the shaking, you can see here. I wonder if they got it over here by, let's see. We got Yellowstone, yeah. So this is why it showed up on the monitors at Yellowstone. Can you see that? Drawn out? Yeah, they actually have it this time. Not always do they have the shake map drawn out. So we got Yellowstone and different little areas. Hedgen Lake. Let's bring it in a little bit. Let's see what we got going down towards maybe Boise. Let's see. Mud Lake, Jefferson, Butte. Let me bring this out. I thought this was pretty cool. Haley. Let's see. Yep. Craters of the Moon National Park. Looks like it ends there where it could have been felt at. Another thing is, this is very unusual that they actually have this drawn out. And so when they do something out of character, I would definitely take notice. So this 3.5 happened at about 1:30 p.m. local time, and then there was another one before that. There's the location of the 3.5. There was a 3.3, Stanley, Idaho, a little bit farther west. 6.2 miles in depth. This one was 7.3 miles in depth. And that's it for today. They're all they're listing. So here's that 3.3. It shows up pretty good on Maple Creek, or Moose Creek, Idaho, excuse me. Here we got Maple Creek in the center. Yeah, not really much, just a little blip for West Thumb, which would be, right there. And then Denny Creek. Yeah, I wanted to cover that, I guess. Look at all the magma coming in. Told you I was going to do the other one. But, yeah, Denny Creek being part of the Maple Creek. Let me bring this down to what it was showing when I pulled the files. Yeah, see, that's that earthquake as it affected Denny Creek. We got 2 cracks, it looks like, of dike intrusion. Let's go to the seismic signature. Yeah, popping of the ground. I've talked about that, how the pressure. See, these are all marked in red. The pressure building up on the ground, making the ground very brittle, like glass, I'm getting all tongue-tied. It's not elastic anymore. Yeah, it's very brittle. Oh, we got some more. You can see how it rattled on. Look at that one line of melt. There is areas where people are walking there at the park. See them all on the boardwalk? Only 600 feet under the ground where they're walking. There is pockets of melt. And I believe it's, 28% melt now? Sometimes when the ground is heating up because the magma's rising up a little bit closer, they'll close down some of the walkways. And this area back over here, that has been closed for a good month because of the renewed activity. And it's actually splashing boiling hot scalding water onto the boardwalk. So they got that closed now. Like I said, it's been closed for about a month. So I told you I was going to go do Maple Creek. So let's do that. Let me bring this down a little bit, and you can see all the earthquakes marked in red. These are all what the computer picked up. Sent a notice to the geologist. Hey, there's some shaking going on. Get off your butt. You might be watching some event, I guess in Sydney, Australia. They got soccer going on there, the world champion, whatever. Yeah, see, there's another one. They didn't report that one, and that one's fairly significant, at least for the heat that it brought up. Let's see, I would probably put it somewhere in here. A magnitude 1.60. I mean, it's not big, but yeah, look at the heat that came up. And let's take a look at the seismic signature. Yeah. See, it's rounded tops. It's not pointed. So another volcanic tremor. And I already told you that one. That one's a 3.3. Alright, we'll do that for you guys. Yeah, volcanic tremors. This one's a little bit larger too. Let's see. Yeah, the ground's a popping. I would probably put it there. And that comes in as a magnitude 1.62. And let's extract that. See? Volcanic tremors. Magma on the rise. Alright, so this is the Madison River area when it had its last major eruption. 350,000 years ago. But there's been 40 smaller eruptions since then. This here is Denny Creek. Maybe I'll show you one of the larger. Let's see, that's Holmes Hill. There it is. Okay, and that's Maple Creek. Okay, Maple Creek, Denny Creek. We got multiple boreholes, which conveniently are not working. Yeah, this one's 250. Borehole 250. Let's see, we got borehole 950. Borehole 206. Yeah, they're not working. The one down over here for Yellowstone Lake, that one is working. 208. Alright, so you know about the eruption, how West Thumb was created. And then down over here, this was only about 70,000 years ago. Pitchstone Plateau, that's a huge area of lava, and it flowed for quite a while when it decided to erupt. And this here is Heart Lake. I'm showing you that because when it had its last major eruption, it did its unzipping up here in the Madison River area, up over here. It did a zipping, like a zipper, pull down the zipper, and yeah, the cracks opened up and multiple eruptions, boom, 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 boom. And when it got down here to Heart Lake, that's when the two resurgent domes collapsed at the same time, and they had their major eruption. But like I said, there's been 40 smaller eruptions, and they're hoping that the next eruption will be a small one, which would be anywhere from Mount St. Helens size, larger. It would not be smaller than Mount St. Helens. It would be a larger eruption, just like Mount St. Helens. They're hoping that's what's going to happen the next time. And any volcano can actually erupt within 10 minutes with no warning at all. And the smaller eruptions, well, they know that they probably won't have a warning for a small eruption. Yeah, they won't have the uplift, and they won't have the earthquakes that usually give a warning for a large eruption. So, yeah, it's good and bad. Small eruption, no warning. Big eruption, you'll get a warning with uplift and large earthquakes. If there's another major eruption, yeah, you're looking at a climate catastrophe around the world. Going to drop the world's temperature and kill off all the crops. where a small eruption would just affect the local area, depending on what that would be. Yeah, like Mount St. Helens, they did know that one was going to erupt. Yeah, what can I say? Still, a lot of people died. So what are your thoughts? Put your comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. As always, be prepared. No one's going to come and save your butt. It's up to you to take care of yourself. Yeah. And I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.